my Discord was kind of bringing it up. We were trying to discuss what makes a fighting game set the GOAT fighting game set. Like, what are the qualifications? Is it about context of the set, right? So like where, you know, if it's a big tournament or if it's a big moment or if something cool we've never seen has showed up, or just the matches. The answer to me is both. It can be pure gameplay and it can be based off context. But obviously if a set has both, it helps. There's a few that came up, right? Like the first one everybody was mentioning was like BB 2014 Evo Finals. This is the Dogra versus Galileo set. But is it the GOAT set? So what the way I was thinking about like formatting this is doing it by game. Maybe we'll just put this as overall. So this is what I'm saying. Are you just listing sets that are really good, or is it the GOAT set for the game? Probably the Evo Moment 37 set. Have you watched the set before? The moment is maybe the greatest of all time moment, but it's not like it's like a great set. One of the most impressive things about that set is that Justin wins the next match. There's a lot of DBFZ answers I'm seeing here. So the two answers, the easy ones, are Sonic Fox versus Goichi, winners finals Evo. And then Leffen versus Goichi CEO. Hook versus Sonic. Sure. Shanks versus Fenrich at Evo. Also a good match, but is it the GOAT? Is Shanks versus Fenrich better than Sonic Fox versus Goichi, Leffen versus Goichi, and Hook versus Sonic? First World Tour Finals of Kaz versus Fenrich. Okay, this is a great example of a match that is not a GOAT material whatsoever. That match, we had to play Linkin Park. It was like, Fenrich had a great story on the way there, but Kazunoko was just too dominant. It was like not one of those matches where there's a give and tug. It's a close match. There's a dominant player, and then something fascinating happens. It's just a beatdown. If it's going to be a one-sided match, there's got to be reason that it's the GOAT. A good example of a GOAT set that people love that's maybe one-sided is like the Perfect Legend Sonic set. Legendary Cien versus Daigo first to 10. See, that's another... Okay, let's do Street Fighter 4 first. All right, hear me out. I know everybody's going to say Daigo versus Momochi Stunfest. Do you guys think that Daigo versus Momochi Stunfest is a better overall set than all those other sets? Or are you hype about one combo? I think Daigo versus Momochi in the Topanga World Finals was a better set than Stunfest by a lot. I don't think it's even close. That's my issue with the Stunfest set, is that I think that there's a better set between the two players. Gandhi versus FSP. That's not a bad answer. I'll put Gandhi versus FSP. What is the one GOAT set? Nothing tops it. It's just the best. Snake Eyes versus Fudo 2014. That shit's an ass kicking though. It's like a long set, but Snake Eyes gets ground out just by Fudo big chilling. He's just sitting there crouching medium punch, crouching heavy punch. Like he's just not doing a damn thing, and Snake Eyes can't get in. It's a war of attrition that he loses and dies. Daigo versus Valle in 2010 is a good answer. PR Rog versus Infiltration Evo Grand Finals. Is it even Evo Grand Finals when they play? I thought they played before Grand Finals. That's not Grand Finals. At least the 2013 set. Snake Eyes versus Cien. I think the set's boring. Only the timeout is hype. If you don't put Vi versus Bonchan on the list, I'm leaving stream. I mean, it's a good set, but is it the best set of all time? I don't even think it's the best set in that tournament. Is it? Bye. Later. Yeah, go to the other streamer who's talking about the greatest of all time Street Fighter 4 fighting game sets, and you go tell him to put that set as number one, or you'll leave that stream too. There's plenty of people talking about this right now. And if they don't agree with you, they're wrong. Yeah, Obama, I think the losers finals of that tournament is better. Nemo versus I is better than the grand finals, I think, and the losers finals is better too. All right, let's start to think. You guys like Vi versus Bonchan. I'll put it on the list. I think that if you want to put Momochi versus Daigo from Stunfest, in parentheses, Sajam says Topanga finals is better. For real, for real. Momochi versus Gamerby, it's got drama, but I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe Inful versus PR Rog 2013. Yeah, the stick malfunction is the most interesting part about the set. And also, it really is dramatic, but once the match comes back, it's like KO, and that's the end. He gets hit by Evil Ryu and dies. Justin Wong versus Daigo. In Street Fighter 4, at what tournament? You can't just say two people's names together. 2004 Evo? That's not Street Fighter 4. 2009 Evo? It's a good set, but it's not up there. Pepe Day versus Punko. That's an okay set. I think that's pretty good. Sanford versus Justin, PR Rog, and Aquasilk might be up there. That Sanford triple call out for Street Fighter 4 is really good. I think the first of 10 series are up there for the GOAT sets, right? The first of 10 series, the Cien versus Daigo and the Daigo versus Inful, those are both up there. What did you guys say? You guys said Daigo versus Valle 2010 SCR. Daigo versus Gamerby. When? Where? What match? Anybody can just say two people's names. They don't even have to have played a certain tournament set against each other. Player 1 versus Player 2. Ah, incredible. Wheels versus Valorant at Combo Breaker in KI. All right, I'm going to highlight this and take a sip of my coffee. Infiltration versus Laugh. We'll never make it. It's not making it on this list. Gandhi versus FSP at DreamHack. Well. With Infiltration switching to Hakan set. Bonchan versus Alex Vai. I feel like you guys either can't read or you're trolling. But I'll just make a rule. If you're suggesting things that are already on the stream, just shoot them. Punko Seth versus Daigo. See, I had a theory, and I didn't know if the theory was correct. I had a theory that Street Fighter 4 players were toxic and stupid. Now, I couldn't prove either, but in trying to talk with them about the greatest set of all time and their favorite fighting game, I'm starting to think I might have definitive proof. Punko versus Pepede, Punko versus Pepede, Punko versus Pepede. All right, I'll put it down. Gross. I don't like that set much, but I know a lot of people do. Gamerby versus Justin Wong. I'm sure those two players have played in a tournament match, yes. Let me explain something to you guys, chat room. If you like fighting games, you should go watch Snake Eyes versus Shen and don't watch the comeback. Watch the rest of the set and tell me what you think about the set. This is what Snake Eyes is doing, right? Snake Eyes walking around and he's doing this. And then he's doing this. And then if that hits, he goes, And then Cien is sitting there doing this. And it's 99 seconds every fucking round of the exact same thing. It's so boring. It's actually maybe the most boring match I've ever seen. It's Cien mashing, crouching, medium punch hands over and over in neutral, just this. And it's fucking Snake Eyes hitting standing medium punch and standing light kick buffer green hand. That's it. The entire match. The only interesting part about the entire set is the end. And there's nothing wrong with that playstyle. It's just, it doesn't make for the greatest set of all time for the game. At least I hope not. Valmaster versus Nemo. Ooh, that's an interesting answer. Nemo versus II. That's a good answer. So I've seen a few of those answers. I'll put that on there. Nemo versus II. I think it's the best. It's better than the grand finals of that top 8. I also think that the Momochi versus Inful 2015 Evo is better than the grand finals. Onisan versus Punko, not even close to the GOAT. The Daigo versus Justin Capcom Fight Club, is that when Daigo's playing Guile? That's not bad, but it's not here for sure. Tokido versus Fudo Canada Cup, sure, I'll put that. Twisted Jago versus Daigo, that's like Marn winning against Daigo with Wake Up Ultra at season being on here because of the, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not to that level. Jago set with him is better, but ignores my Daigo Ryu versus Gamerby at Evo. I don't like that set very much. It's just domination. It's not a very interesting set, is it? It's just Daigo beating the shit out of him, and then he just kills him with his uppercut. Like, I think the DreamHack set is better. BJ versus Bonchan. That set is interesting. Kazunoko versus Daigo Capcom Cup Grand Finals? No. That's Daigo running for his life, doing jump back jab over and over while Kazunoko kicks his shit in with Yun. Infiltration versus Fudo 2016 Grand Finals. Hold on a second. Can it go bigger? I think it broke. I think it broke the cell. Now, I don't know if this is a little clearer, but when you say 2016 Evo Finals. All right, let's try this again. Gandhi versus FSP DreamHack Winter 2013 groups. I think Street Fighter 4 players don't know how to read. How come you guys can all OS sweep a backdash, but you guys can't read, huh? No, basically every Street Fighter 4 tournament now is like Elena and like Fuerte. I don't, there's not a lot of like modern Street Fighter 4 sets that are GOAT sets, I think. Is there anything egregious we're missing here? All right, now that Obama's here, Obama, can you confirm something for me? I was talking about the GOAT of all time sets. And these fucking Midwesterners come in and they're like, the greatest of all time fighting game set is from the Midwest. It's when my friend John played the 4th seed in his pool and he beat him 2-1. It was really close. He didn't even make it out of his pools later, but then we got cheese curds and it was great. Like, why are Midwesterners so fucking obsessed with the most random shit being the greatest of all time as long as it's from the Midwest? Y'all are so weird. I don't understand why. You guys are so sensitive. If you don't talk about how good the Midwest is, every 10 seconds they explode. Hey, did we forget anything in Dragon Ball? This seems right? We could do Guilty Gear. But we'd have to do Rev, right? I guess we should count Sign, Rev, and Rev 2, right? Omito Nage. That seems like this seems like the obvious answer. Is there a better answer? Ogawa versus Daigo? Hey, you know what? You know what, actually, in that set, Daigo was doing okay. I can't tell if Ogawa was throwing or not. He doesn't seem like the type, but Daigo did okay for a second there in that set. You know what I mean? Machabo versus Ogawa, Kimono Michi. That was kind of a beatdown, though, yeah? Haken versus Omito is beast. Yeah, that was a really good set. To be honest, we don't have to do this. Omito Nage is the game. I feel like this is... yeah, it feels weird to add anything under this, right? Literally, first Hokage versus Madara. Ogawa versus Washige is funny, but it probably doesn't belong on the list. It's like FSP Gandhi, but not as good, actually. Like, Gandhi versus FSP, I feel like has... It's way down here, right? But it should probably be there. I feel like this is the answer, though. I should do MVC3. I feel like everybody's answers to this are weird. This is a hard one to actually pick. Nemo versus F-Champ. The exhibition at West Coast Warzone. It's a decent start. Jaewong versus Chris G. That's EVO 2013 you're thinking of? I like that. I think that grand finals is a good answer. Yabs versus Chris G Summer Jam. I knew Ringe would come in handy. That's a great answer, too. No, this isn't 2013 finals. This is 2014. Whoops. Fnatic versus Ray Ray is... I don't think that's in the GOAT set, though, is it? Kusoru versus F-Champ. That's a good answer. People really like that set, I feel like. It should probably be on here. Oh my god, it's Andre versus Unknown. What's your problem? KBR versus F-Champ. Is KBR versus F-Champ, though, in the GOAT sets? It probably is, right? In my head, I don't feel like it is. But it probably is. Because of the context. What event was that? Winter Brawl? Senior Taxi versus Chris G. First of all, how do you remember that? Second of all, PS3 lag, is that the one? Marlon Pie versus Combo Fiend Exhibition. That's an interesting answer. Cloud versus Coach Steve. Does it stand out in a class of its own? Marn versus Combo Fiend, unironically, maybe a decent answer. I don't know that it's the GOAT set, though. Is there any other sets that feel like they are robbed by not being here? Ray Ray versus Moons. Which of the 900 NLBCs or tournament matches of the 15 weekend tournaments that happen on the East Coast or online sets or local offline stream sets could it be? Jaewong versus F-Champ. In Street Fighter 4, in Street Fighter 5, in Marvel vs. 3, in Checkers. Which tournament? The interesting thing about matches is they usually happen in a year at a place. I feel like I gave people too much credit with this idea. But yeah, that's actually an interesting one. Maybe Flocker versus Justin Wong. We'll do Evo 2013 GF. Sure. We'll put that on there. Why not? Flux versus Coach Steve, first to 25. Probably not. The best part about that was pause and quit at air throw at the start. So this is what we have so far. We did Street Fighter 4, Game Review versus Daigo, Evo 2012, and DreamHack 2013. I don't think either of those sets is GOAT. The 2012 set is just Daigo kicking the shit out of him. The 2013 set is just Daigo kicking the shit out of him. What makes either of those sets the greatest set of all time? Daigo go DP Burt? Like, okay. It's true. He does DP him. Anything else? DP go KO? Yes. Think about Street Fighter 4, all the sets that ever happened. You think Sanford Kelly versus Rico Suave is one of the greatest sets in the game ever because haha stick go smash? MK9 DJT versus Rio? That is my favorite Street Fighter 4 set. You're right. I can't believe there's not a single Cien set. I'm going to give you a secret. Cien is one of my favorite players. You know why? Because I'm a boring player. And so is Cien. Cien is one of the most boring players on the planet. I already talked about Cien versus Snake Eyes. Don't make me talk about it again. Snake Eyes is stand light kick. Cien is and if it hits, he goes, here we go, for 99 seconds. Snake Eyes versus Fudo was godlike. You'd probably call that boring too. It is boring. It's just one-sided. Yeah, Snake Eyes versus Luffy is a better set. There's more of a tug of war. The Snake Eyes versus Fudo set is impressive from Fudo's perspective, but it's rough. He just gets walled. Yeah, KOF 13 is an interesting. We could do a KOF list. It's mostly gonna be Evo sets, right? Baller versus Mad KOF and then the Reynolds set, right? Those are like the two sets. Wawa versus Morocco. I didn't see that until like a year ago. How about Punk choking at the finals? That's my favorite KOF 13 set. I love Punk's Mr. Karate. I'm down to put Tokido versus Xiaohan. Yeah, Tokido was really good at KOF in general in 13. Did he make like multiple Evo top 8s for that game or just one? DBFZ was, I feel like this is pretty easy. I also don't think Leffen versus Goichi is better than the Sonic Fox Goichi set. But I included it because I know people like the set, and there's smashers afoot. We can do Street Fighter 5. Here are my first thoughts. Problem X versus Daigo. Was this Red Bull Kumite that they played that set? Tokido versus Punk. Evo. GF. F-Champ versus Tokido. It's a good answer. I don't think it's going to be quite as high. Mena versus Tokido. Also a good answer. Also maybe not in the GOAT set. Itabashi versus Xiaoheim. No, probably not. I like that match a lot, though. Tokido versus Daigo first 10? Sure, we can do that. Problem X versus Tokido at Evo. The finals where he wins. I think Problem X has 2 better sets in that set. I think this set is better than his Evo set, too. Phenom versus Tokido. That's a good answer. What about Tokido Daigo Capcom Cup 2019? That's also a fantastic set. Kimono Michi has more involved. That's probably better from the gameplay perspective. Phenom Punk. Phenom Punk is also a good answer. Bonchan versus Smug. NCR. Du versus Xiaohai. There's a lot of history between them in matches, but I don't know if they have a GOAT set. Punk versus Nemo is an interesting answer. I don't know if it's the GOAT. Bonchan season 3, 4 Nash versus everyone? No. That's like handing someone a rapier and everybody else has got fucking automatic machine guns. And when the guy with the rapier stabs the machine gun guy, you're like, sure, I'll clap because it's impressive to kill a guy with a gun when you have a rapier, but it doesn't mean it's the greatest of all time. Itabashi versus Nemo, which one? Daigo versus Sako, Capcom Cup 2016? Good answer. Is it the GOAT, though? I'm not sure. Is it the best set in that tournament? I'm not sure. Nemo versus Infiltration LCQ? Maybe. Rob TV versus Guilty, E-League 2017? Lupe versus Daigo? Unironically, maybe, yeah. Punk versus Idom. Meh. Again, I think the important part is, so Problem X versus Daigo, right? This set doesn't have much drama, but the gameplay is, it's like an incredibly close match. It's a really, really fantastic set. Tokido versus Punk, also a huge storyline and is a very fun match to watch. And same thing with Tokido versus Daigo at Kimono Michi. Same thing, Problem X versus Justin, fantastic match. High stakes because it's Capcom Cup. Really close. Bonchan versus Smug, fantastic gameplay, not high stakes. Tokido versus Champ, Evo 2017, it's in top 8. High stakes. It's probably Tokido's closest match in that top 8. Here's the problem, chat room. If you're going to suggest a match, I got this. Du versus Idom, Brian F. stream VOD, 2 hours... 34 minutes, 10 seconds in for about 40, let's say 56 minutes long. Oh, that set's really good. Time and a place. Fujimura Bonchan is an interesting one. Yeah, Fujimura needs a set on here for sure. What's Fujimura's best set? I want to make sure that I'm being completely clear. Thank you for your Street Fighter 4 suggestion. Is there anything that's egregious that's missing off this list? I guess Fujimura versus Bonchan. That's CEO 2019. We'll give Fujimura a set. Phenom versus Tokido is a good answer. We really got Tokido on the list 5 times and Snake Eyes on the list 0 times. Oh, yes. Snake Eyes is a much better Street Fighter 5 player than Tokido. Yeah, we should just erase all the Tokido matches and put Snake Eyes on here. Good point. Let's put Snake Eyes versus Du CB 20. What is this? 2017. That probably deserves to be there. Idom versus Punk. It's hard because that Capcom Cup was bad, right? It just objectively not a great event. And is it even the best set from that event? I feel like Phenom versus Tokido was more exciting. I guess it was kind of, there was some tug between the two. Yeah, maybe that set will be there. Idom Infectious was the best set of that event. That was a good set too. Punko versus Pepe Day Canada Cup. Might be too small. I'm starting to think so. Tekken 7. The obvious answer. Everybody's saying Lil Majin versus JDCR. I think Knee versus JDCR at Rev Major. Great answer. I think Arslan Ash versus Knee. I don't think the final set was the best one. The Evo Grand Finals. And we'll just put like Assorted. This is tough. I don't know what their actual best set is. You got the CB set you're talking about is not Arslan versus Knee. It's Anakin versus Knee. The other thing you guys are talking about was Lil Majin versus JDCR, which is Evo 2018. Ricksta versus Knee. That's 2019, isn't it? Master Cup Finals. The Master Cup Finals is very good, but it's like a long set. I don't know if we count it. Lowhigh versus a Wise Honey at TWT Finals. The ending of that is really good, especially. Rangchu versus Kudons. I think that's a good answer. We'll do TWT. This is the 2018 finals. No Leroy. I mean, is that surprising? John Ding versus Jimmy at SCR. Which one? Kudans versus Saint. TWT 2017 finals. I was there. Jimmy T versus JDCR. All right, tell me which Jimmy T versus JDCR match you think is the best one. Good old Jimmy T. Jimmy versus Arslan at EVO Japan. Yeah, that's a very close match. When you think of the best Tekken 7 sets of all time, this is no Tekken 7 set is better than this set. You think Jimmy J. Tran versus John Ding. I think John Ding has had, and Jimmy have both had better sets than that. John Ding versus Kudons at CEO is a better set. Jimmy versus Arslan, or Jimmy versus Knee from the 2017 finals, or Jimmy versus AK or something. Like, I feel like there's been better sets. Well, the one you're talking about is cool because Era said the F word, right? That was really neat. I like that. But as far as like actual exciting and cool match, I think the other matches are higher stakes and more fun matches to watch. Bobby versus Obama, underrated. Yeah, I think John Ding versus Kudons should be on here. I'll say Master Cup, Kagemaru. Is that good enough? Pakistan Arc. Oh, that's my favorite match, the Pakistan Arc. Pakistan Arc is a great player, for sure. Pakistan Arc, I like his Bob. Book and Gen Leroy Ditto for real. You're trying to get shot, aren't you? That was good. That's a good bait comment. Diamondback Pecos LCQ. That's probably a decent answer. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, is there another set that absolutely needs to be added here? I would say Jimmy J versus Arslan Evo JP 2018. I don't remember. Goichi versus Leffen. He has the best shines out of Shield. Yeah. We've done MVC3, Guilty Gear, DBFZ, Tekken 7, KOF, Street Fighter 4 and 5. Is there something that we were supposed to do that we haven't done yet? KI, Soul Calibur 6. I can't do Soul Calibur. MK is not a bad answer. I know nothing about Soul Calibur. I would have to completely take your guys' recommendations. And looking at your recommendations so far, I'm not sure that I trust you. What about MVCI? Unironically, the Sonic Fox versus F-Champ sets are very good. Quackbot versus the Canada Cup bracket runners. Legitimately, good set. If I trust the chat room, then like the greatest match of all time for Street Fighter 4 is Gandhi versus FSP and Punko versus Pepe Dai. And the best Tekken 7 match ever is John Ding versus Jimmy because Eris yelled, "Shut the fuck up out there." You're not allowed to do that. It's the Go Killer Instinct match. Wheels versus Valorax at CB 2017 is when it was. 2017, 2018. My God versus Sleep at Evo. Sleep versus Storm. Nah, Domi versus LCD, or like Domi doing the bomb loop was cool, but I don't think it makes for the GOAT set. Maximilian versus FRQ Steve. That was a close match. Maybe like a Thompson versus Nikki set or something. Thompson versus Base. There's probably a lot of good sets. Those stand out to me at the top of my head. Like if this was a greatest of all time moments list, like, you know, it would be easy. We would just put Evo moment 37 and we'd be like, all right, nice work, chat room. We did it. Pat ourselves on the back and then we go play some Hades. Oh, Sonic Dolphin versus Nikki is a good answer, by the way. The Samcho set where the guy was doing nothing for the entire time and it turned out his stick was broken or whatever was hilarious. Yes. Did we pass on LTG versus Viscamp for Marvel? All right, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on in that comment. They didn't play Marvel. They played Street Fighter 4. Also, their Street Fighter 4 set's not making it onto the best. Daigo versus Kazunoko Grand Finals of Capcom Cup. Kazunoko neutral jumps. Daigo in absolute fear does jump back jab. All right, that's the set. You've now seen the set. Yeah, for MKX sets, obviously people talk about the 13-0, but Tekken Master Sonic Fox is a great answer. And I think maybe the best, right? All the MK finals were really good at Evo, like the Honeybee set, the Foxy Grandpa set as well. All right, I'll share this link later and we can work on this more, chat room. It's not finished. It probably will take some more consideration, but that's our starting list. I can't wait to suggest SF4 sets. Sienna versus Snake Eyes will always be one of my faves. I hate that set. It's officially my least favorite Street Fighter 4 set of all time now. Listen. I look like Ace Ventura. Pet detective, eh? Yeah, the hair's getting out of control. I loved you in Star Wars. You played a great Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, thanks. I did my best, you know? I was like, don't go to the Sith. And then I was like, wait, they're pretty sick. They got red lightsabers.